What's going on, guys? Hope you're all having a good day. And the title of this video is not lying to you that the Battlefield 6 launch has broken every single record in the Battlefield franchise history. Even from the advertisements for the game leading up to its launch, you can kind of tell that this Battlefield was going to launch with more popularity than we've ever seen before. And that's more apparent than ever now that we've seen reports coming out of EA's official post. Following a record-shattering open beta in August, Battlefield 6 now has the biggest opening ever in the storied Battlefield franchise. Battlefield 6 hit an all-time high for the franchise sales during the first 3 days of its launch, selling over 7 million copies and counting. Thanks to the series' passionate community, the game had over 172 million matches played online and accumulated over 15 million hours watched on streaming services during the 3-day weekend, as well as earning the most concurrent players in Battlefield history. Now, if you're a new viewer to the channel, I made a review for the beta back a couple months ago when the Battlefield 6 beta was still going on, and I said that this game is going to break all sorts of records, and I had loads of comments saying I was delusional, this game isn't going to do very well, it's not going to break all the records that other Battlefields has made, and of course, this game seems like it's absolutely skyrocketing past everything so far, and you know, whether or not the game has legs to breach out and hit the 25 million copies sold for Battlefield 1 in its lifetime, I guarantee this head start that it's getting within its first 3 days is very, very pleasing for Electronic Arts, and I guarantee that they are absolutely licking their chops at the amount of money that they're making this year, because we haven't seen anything like this for a Battlefield game before. And I'm usually one that doesn't like when large companies are doing things to make, money basically, but it's like you're just making a bunch of sales off of your game in general, which is perfectly fine in my opinion, right? If people want to buy your game, you're making lots of money, you're making a statement to the rest of the world basically that you've made a very decent product, and that's obviously shown by the amount of buzz that it has online, just the amount of people having fun. Like, when's the last time an FPS came out to where everyone is just having an absolute blast? I think Battlefield is always one of those games that has given people the opportunity to just have fun playing an FPS game. You don't get that often anymore. Everything is always so intense. Every FPS has to be, semi-realistic to the point where the game is so hardcore that you may not even want to enjoy it, or it's too cartoony at the same time. There's no in between, and now we finally have a modern military shooter that is actually enjoyable to play and doesn't look like dog shit either. I mean, take for example the fact that when I'm playing Battlefield, like say for this clip here, I get killed by this guy here. Just call him Kennick, right? That's his gamer tag. And of course, I'm down. I'm trying to give callouts to my teammates. He's up in this scaffolding, shooting down on my teammates as much as I hate to see it. So I decide that I need to take matters into my own hand if he's going to camp up inside that office. So I take the death. I go ahead and switch over to engineer, spawn on my teammates who are up on the roof conveniently, and then I decide to take my rocket launcher and drop the roof on top of his head, killing him instantly. Take a quick combat roll, look around, take my bearings in, and then everything seems clear. It's gonna speed up along here. And then, of course, I die to this guy in the truck, and it just so happens to be the same guy that I dropped the entire roof on top of just a few moments before. And that's exactly what I mean with the Battlefield series. It's always just moments like that where, sometimes you may not notice it in the heat of the moment, but it's the fact that the game just always has something up its sleeve to make you surprised. There's always something interesting happening on screen, like jets flying out of the air from some dogfight that you didn't even get to witness and crashing into the point that you were just running away from. I could glaze the game as much as possible and claim that the game is the best things ever, but I mean, there's obviously some glaring problems with the game. There's, something going on, whether it's server-wise, whether it's visual-wise, whether it's just bugs happening in general. I mean, there's always just something as I fail to take down a tank in the most miserable way possible there, but you know what I mean. Like, obviously there's going to be issues, but it seems like they're taking the opportunity here to actually fix these problems as quickly as possible. They're not really addressing the tokens for everyone not being able to play the game on the EA app. especially. That's been one of the main complaints that I've seen so far. And then of course there's all the other ones, but they're addressing everything. Like anytime a bug or an issue gets popped up, it pretty much instantly is put out as a statement saying, hey, like, we're working on this, thank you for the feedback. And that just seems really refreshing this time around, where you're actually getting feedback taken immediately and then being addressed immediately. Like, for example, you have Call of Duty, to where we sit there and make a complaint to them, and then of course they kind of just ignore us for months, and then they go, oh, yeah, that was never a bug, you guys were just dumb, or something along the lines, you know, erroneous blood splatter and all the other stupid bugs that pop up during that time. And then of course you have a lot of issues with progression. A lot of people are really mad with that the progression is slow in this game. It's like, do you guys really want the game to be completed in like a week? I know we have a loaded fall this time around, where we have Arc Raiders coming out today, because this video is going to come out on Friday. The stress test for Arc Raiders, or the server slam, is going to be available this weekend. So of course, you know, everyone's really excited for that. And then you have Call of Duty coming out next month, and then you have Battlefield currently running its course right now. So yeah, I mean, it's a loaded time, but it's like, do you guys really want the game to be done within like a month worth of time? Because that's what it seems like everyone's saying. It's like, oh, the progression is too slow. Battlefield's always had slow progression. You had to grind out to level 140 through pretty much every single Battlefield. I don't really know what the highest ranks were for the last couple of Battlefields, especially 2042, because I didn't play it. Battlefield 5, I had no idea. Battlefield 1, I'm not sure what the max rank was, but I do know that at least with Battlefield 4, you had rank 140 Colonel running around. Like, that was like the main rank you wanted to get to. I'm pretty sure it's 140. You can go ahead and correct me down in the comments below, but it's like, we don't want to sit there and get to max rank within just a couple of weeks of the game being out. Actually, the game's only a week old at this point, and people are already pushing level 50s. But these are people who play the game for a job. They're sitting there playing the game for 8 hours at a time, and you're sitting there complaining that you haven't unlocked everything in the game yet. I would say just be happy with the fact that you have something to work towards. Like, yes, some of these challenges that once you hit level 20 are atrocious. Some of them are really bad, and that just comes down to game design. Like, they made all the maps smaller, so 200-meter headshots are unfortunately a lot harder to get now, and people are abusing the portal mode. Just like I had mentioned in my beta review, like, you know, just go back and watch my beta review. My commentary is not going to be as good because I wasn't as confident in myself talking into a microphone, but now it is, and it's like, just watching that again, like, I wanted to go back and make sure I was getting my points. I mentioned that I was worried about the portal mode, and I'm very much correct. And the fact that the portal mode is just completely chock full of XP farms, and it was the same issue with 2042. I didn't even play that game, and I knew that the portal mode was going to be filled with XP farms, and yet that's exactly what they were. When Battlefield 6 had their promotional stuff going on for their free battle pass in there was just XP farms where people would spawn in the middle and kill bots over and over for free XP and free points. And of course, when the battle pass comes out for this game, I guarantee there's going to be major issues with the portal mode, because people are going to be completing your battle pass too quickly. I personally think that a slower progression is better for the Battlefield series. I think it's always one of those games to where, you know, we don't want a yearly cycle for these games. Like, the only reason why all the unlocks and everything are super crazy on Call of Duty is because they just want to try to get you in the game and on the game as much as possible, logging in every week. Battlefield is a long haul. There's years in between each game, and that's like the main draw to it. Every year it just seems to get more crazy through the hype and everything. But you know, I think having a long drawn-out progression system means that there's less stress on the devs, to where they're not having to make some kind of event going on every single week. They can do like one a month or something, so it makes it far better for them to actually make sure things are coming out properly, instead of releasing an update that breaks your game every single time. Call of Duty. But anyway, I do think that Battlefield has a good finish at your own pace. It's not a FOMO. You're not missing out on anything unless you really want to get to weapons first. I mean, unless you're a content creator where you need to unlock the sniper rifle for the first time against everybody and make a world record of 1,000-meter headshot with a max rank sniper rifle, then go for it. But at the same time, it's like, just play the game for fun, guys. That's what the whole point of this is. It's meant to be a good time, but don't forget that feedback is, of course, extremely important for these developers. And the fact that they are, taking in all this information and making changes quickly is a very, very good sign for the Battlefield series. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I upload pretty much every single day. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.